In today's video, I want to take a look at gold, and I want to stress the importance of understanding the manipulation that goes on in the gold market. If you're trying to short-term or even medium-term trade metals, you've got to acknowledge that the manipulation occurs, and you've got to, unfortunately, you have to try to anticipate when it's going to happen. So this looked like a daily cycle low here, this reversal on the FOMC statement. And we even got a pretty nice move in the mining stocks, and even yesterday, which made this, if you were just assuming that this was a natural market and was trading based on natural supply and demand, you would have looked at this rally in the miners and said, we've got a final bottom, and that's kind of what I thought. But in the back of my mind, I was wondering if this wasn't bait, so to speak, to draw traders in prematurely and then fleece them with another move lower. And today that looks like that's exactly what this was and exactly what's happening. So gold is moving down into a daily cycle low. There's no doubt about that. The question, of course, is whether or not this was the final low. And I think the metals market has been set up to fleece gold bugs, to make them think that the bottom was in, and they want to buy that dip, and then the cartel comes in, breaks the rally, and I suspect what they're going to do is they're probably going to push this down and break this reversal low. So they'll extend this daily cycle low a little bit further than what it would run naturally. And naturally, there's no way gold's going to drop below this support right here at 1920-ish. It's just not going to do that naturally. This is a breakout, occurring early off of this move out of the triangle that I showed in my previous videos. So there's no natural scenario where gold comes back down and breaks this support. However, there is definitely a scenario where the cartel breaks that support to run everybody's stops, collect a little money on the short side, and then they cover those shorts, and gold turns and goes back up. So you've got to take the manipulation in the metals market into account if you're trying to short-term trade, or even, like I said, medium-term trade the metals market. Long-term trades, which in my opinion would just be holding physical silver and holding physical gold, all of this stuff is meaningless. They're not going to be able to break the long-term trend. They're not going to be able to stop the bull market in metals. They're not going to be able to stop the handle breakout from that big cup and handle pattern. But they are going to fleece short-term traders that that think they are trading a free market. So I think that's what's happened here. I think the rally in the miners, I think it was bait to get people long and then run their stops by pushing gold and silver down and breaking this pivot right here. I think they probably are going to break this pivot and run everybody's stops that bought after the reversal on Wednesday. So I'm going to stress, have a little patience here. I think I would wait and see if they don't manage to break this. I think they're probably going to. That'll trigger a whole bunch of stops. It'll allow the cartel to cover their shorts at a profit, and then they can switch and get long when gold rallies out of this daily cycle low. And this should be a right translated daily cycle, so it should not drop below this low. And I don't think it's going to really even get that close. We may bottom maybe on this pivot right here, whatever that is, 1880. Or, we might have to wait for RSI to get a little oversold before this finally bottoms, but I think you can almost bet the farm that the cartel intends on breaking this pivot here, triggering those stops. Then they can get out of their shorts at a nice little profit, and then get out of the way of the next rally when it occurs. So this is why you have to understand and try to anticipate the manipulation that goes on in the metals market. If you think you're trading a free market, then the cartel's just going to fleece you over and over again. This is not a free market.